Hey everybody, I'm at the Tennant Creek Trailhead today, and I'm just going to kind of go up the mountain here. There's been plenty of sightings in this Southern Adirondack region. I was actually at the Bigfoot Conference yesterday, New York Bigfoot Conference yesterday, and found out there were a lot of sightings in this area. Hopefully I'll come across something, and subscribe and like if you can, and come along for the journey. Take care. Alright, so I'm finally following up on a dream I always had to hike the Adirondacks, and the past couple of days afforded me that opportunity. If there's any area that's going to ever have any Sasquatch activity, at least in the Northeast, this is prime territory. And it's just so crazy. It's a really hot day for October. There's actually there's like a dried out creek right here. There's a footprint. That's human, probably. Yeah, the Adirondacks are just so vast, and to finally have an opportunity to hike in this region is real, you know, rarity and lucky event for myself. Yeah, this trailhead's really rough. It's extremely dry right now. They're kind of experiencing a drought. You can really feel it. It's a shame we got so much rain at the beginning of summer, and now it seems like some really bone dry past couple weeks, months even. I was expecting it to be like really cold here. My mind's kind of blown. I would say it's almost in the 80s. For the first week of October, that's not good. But the Adirondacks just span so far. It's real treat to have the opportunity to do this. Man, it is bizarrely hot and dry for October. I think I'm just gonna walk to there's like two sets of falls I think I'm just gonna walk to the first one. Upstate New York has just so many chipmunks. It's crazy. It's like they're almost like the gray squirrel population further south. But yeah, I really did, you know, I met my heroes yesterday, and that's it's really crazy. Like, it was the first year for the New York Bigfoot Conference, so I don't think people picked up on how big it was in terms of like the guests they were able to bring out. I mean, it's basically the same people who go to the Ohio Bigfoot Conference, but instead of having a crowd of 30,000, there's only a crowd of about 100. So I found myself in the company of many famous stars and of the Bigfoot world, and my mind was truly blown. So I figure next year is going to be a lot busier once word spreads that all those famous people were there, because it was really mind-blowing. Yeah, I mean, really just being able to kind of interview, you know, your favorites, it's really really crazy. But you know, I did the fanboy thing. I was definitely a fanboy. I was, you know, super excited to meet some of them, especially because it was just such on like a local level, you know, meeting everybody, which really blew my mind. Like I said, I don't think next year they'll be able to keep it that small. But when I was there, I came across, you know, a lot of different people that actually had, you know, map reports of this area, and I was able to get like kind of like a boots on the ground understanding of like where to go. So this is like the, you know, extreme southern area of like the Adirondacks, and it's like just northwest of Lake Sacandaga. So start doing some wood knocks because it's getting that quiet breath, the quiet pause, the forest. I was wondering how long it takes for them to reply. Yeah, this is a lot gentler than Slide Mountain. Mosquitoes are still bad though this time of year, which is crazy. Gotta try and make it to the falls that are back here. I think I saw one other car in the parking lot, so it's relatively dead on this trail. I was watching a little documentary about the Adirondacks, and it seems like Yosemite, the Grand Canyon, Glacier, and why am I forgetting the park in northwest Wyoming where Old Faithful is? That all four of those parks can fit in the Adirondacks. So it just shows you the extent of how big this park is. Yellowstone. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I could not remember Yellowstone. I don't know why. It was so crazy. So anyway, so that just shows you how large of an area this is. And the falls are about they're about a mile away. So we're just gonna keep on walking till we hit them. Yeah, this isn't too brutal of a grade. Yeah, some trails just have that crazy climb to them, and I'm not really getting that with this. I really don't know what to expect from the falls in this trail, but I'll find out. Yeah, the Mine Kill trail, that was really crazy. Those falls, the Catskills, that was something else. Sometimes roots look like footprints too. It looks like the heel, kind of. Not the first time that's happened to me. It's starting to get a little bit more brutal here. That's a weird bird noise. Yeah, I wonder if, maybe the Adirondacks is like my kind of the northernmost tier of where I go. Might have found my most northern point, because there's still plenty good areas to go to further south. And the Catskills are so wild. It's like, I think they really get overlooked. I was watching a documentary about like the Borscht Belt. Yeah, that was like Catskills was like a real big place for New Yorkers to come in summer, and all those resorts, there was like 50 plus resorts that went out of business, and so now like all those old resorts just aren't there anymore, which is crazy. But there used to be just such a large community there. Here today, gone tomorrow. Yeah, it was apparently like the affordability and availability of like jet travel, which really killed the Catskills and their, you know, position as like a destination resort for people. Yeah, I don't know, like maybe like I said, maybe the Adirondacks are my extreme northern point, you know, because there's plenty of areas that like I've looked in. It's like maybe I'm just missing things, especially because Mine Kill State Park was like so desolate when I went there, and that. That squirrel barking at me. Apparently, fishers still exist in this area. So, I figure if I do one wood knock, maybe it kind of gets them curious, brings them in. Should have checked in. There was like a check-in at the bottom of the mountain. Usually smarter than that. But I did tell someone where I was going. So you always need to tell somebody where you're going. I actually was so tired that I took a nap before I came here, and the parking lot was full, and then when I woke up it was empty, so that nap was advantageous on many levels. Although Garmin said that there was a bathroom, but there's not a bathroom. It's like tipped over or something. People did something bad to it. I don't know. Garmin's approximately right, but you gotta watch because sometimes it'll take you through some really stupid terrain. That bent tree. Usually what that is it's just like ice during the winter time. Can really bend trees like that. Yeah, it was real motivational time for me to be able to, you know, see these different speakers for me, because I had missed a couple of them at the different Bigfoot festivals, and I don't know, maybe I'll go to one a year, but I'd much rather find Bigfoot rather than go to a Bigfoot festival. I'm that crazy. Yeah, this weather is crazy today. I really thought I was going to be really fighting the cold. I got lucky. Especially this far north. But the foliage, like Marge would say, is starting to change. So always a slow indicator of changing in the seasons, because I know that during the spring they'll grow their leaves by the amount of light in the day, but I don't know about when they lose their leaves. If it's more has to do with temperature. It might have more to do with temperature. This video is also dedicated to the memory of Dr. Jeff Meldrum and Jane Goodall. It's a real heavy time in the Bigfoot community, just because we lost some parts of our foundation. So I think it's maybe time for, people of my generation, like millennials, to kind of start, to grow up a little bit, because there's a lot of bad stuff going on in the world, and if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And I really feel like science is under assault right now. So, wow, look at that tree. Oh my goodness, how wide that is. That is a big tree. Look at that. That's like 4 feet in diameter. Goodness. Yeah, not only losing Dr. Meldrum, but also Jane Goodall within a span of a week or two is just, jarring. I emailed Dr. Meldrum like a couple of years ago about like an ice footprint I found, and he was really nice to reply back to me. And I saw him at the West Virginia Bigfoot Festival last year, and I mean, how do we fill that void? I don't know, but there's one other couple on the trail. I just heard some noises. Heard some voices. Oh, there we go. It's a couple. Hey folks, how are you? Beautiful day. Yeah, just these unusually mild temperatures is just really mind-blowing. Wonder where they parked. I didn't see them. There's just extensive trails through this area, so they could find their way all over the place. It's good seeing like older couples like getting out there and just getting exercise. Keeping healthy hearts. And we're approximately 600 feet from the falls, so first set of falls. I don't know if I'm going to go the second. Yeah, so the Adirondacks definitely, you know, is a extremely expensive area. Has like some parts have like a forever wild clause in them. So. I was just making sure. Yeah, with the leaves, it definitely gets a little slippery going downhill. Feels like it's easier grade trail. These are like evergreens. Oh man, some of these trees are like widowmakers. Gosh, look at that. And then that one goes all the way up like that. Ay, ay, ay. Beauty of all those leaves coming down. Thank goodness there's a wind. A little breeze. Yeah, so there's like 3 sightings in this area. So who knows, like I always say, if I ever find anything, it's gonna be complete and utter luck. Like, because these things are a moving needle in a haystack. I might split this into two videos, like a to and fro back, video. I don't know. I mean, with YouTube, I'm not confined to just make an hour video. It's like the real glory of it. Like the first falls here. I just feel like somebody could have a sighting here. Water like this, just because it masks so much sound. Human. I guess this is the first falls here. It's up ahead here. Here. It's so much cooler right here. Oh boy. Really beautiful. Goes down the hill here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna head back. So, not so much falls as much as it is like a slope. I think we'll trail actually turns up over here. Very cool. Might not be Niagara, but I'm always impressed by like little, like smaller falls. Just because they don't get the notoriety that, you know, larger falls get. This is my 50th episode too, so hopefully it'll rear its head. I never like saying their name in the woods. I don't know why. It's like an indigenous thing. There's this other little creek down here, tributary for it. Run that goes down the mountain. I always wish I could catch one just crossing a creek or a stream, you know. I filmed that day. But there are lots of dry lake beds right now, or creek beds, so we will get lucky. It was so much easier getting back on it, you know. amazing. Once you know where to go, just like it's like the express lane. It takes like a half an hour to get somewhere, but then only like 15 minutes to get back, especially if it's downhill. Where's the trail marker? Didn't see any deer. It's kind of disappointing. There's elephant print. It's nothing. Looks like a shoe heel. Tennant Creek. Plenty of natural habitat here, a little tributary to the Tennant Creek. Yeah, I really thought this was going to be a lot more mountainous, but still not very, it's not kid friendly, but like, this is like a good hike for couples to go over like 13 over. These like undulating trails. You don't know if you're going up or down. Marker. Oh, goodness gracious. It's this way. Foot trail. Gotta be this way. I found the trail. Here's that like divot. Let's see here. Hi. I gotta cross the creek. That's what it is. Forgot. I see it now. Forgot. Right in front of me. All right, there we go. Oh God, it fell. Oh. Oh. Oh no, ow. Oh. God. Oh. Just took it wrong. Oh. Just misjudged that rock. Oh goodness. Man. Oh. Oh goodness. Just when you think you're ahead. I didn't do anything too serious. Thank goodness. Yeah, just misjudged that rock. I can't believe I did that. That's so stupid. It's like a clear trail and I just misjudged the rock. Leaves all over my arm. Yeah, there's at the New York Bigfoot Conference, there's a gentleman with a booth for his YouTube channel. It's called Adirondack Sasquatch. And you should definitely check out his channel. He has a more extensive coverage of this area. Terrain here. With that, the falls was real cool. 10 degrees, 15 degrees cooler. I know they invented smell-o-vision, but they didn't invent cool-o-vision. Feel all the different temperature drops. Temperature TV. Yeah, I'm not seeing as many like Michael State Park had there was nobody there when I went there. It was crazy. There's turkeys crossing in front of me, in the parking lot. Apparently turkeys are harder to hunt than deer, and I saw just a whole flock or gaggle, I don't know what it's called, of turkeys, and there's so many deer in the path. Oh, maybe it's time of day. I did go there later than this. Animals are usually active at dawn and dusk. Pin drop quiet. My friend who lives in this area, he said a moose was in his backyard. So just shows you how varied the terrain can be. total here. Always do the hard way first. And coming back a lot easier. I think I rolled my ankle a little bit. My left ankle. So that's kind of a bummer. Should be alright. Sometimes when the adrenaline wears off, that's when you start feeling things. You really have to take it for granted every step you take, because like even on a regular trail you can just misjudge. That's what I did back there. Oh, look at this tree growing on this rock. Goodness gracious. You never think you'd see anything like that in the forest of North America, but I can't tell you how many times I come across stuff like that. Just the wow factor. Making good time. Coming back at least. Actually went to my friend's church today, and I guess it had me thinking a lot about Bigfoot, you know, and religion. And you know, a lot of people think this is on the level of like Nephilim, or it's Esau, and you know, I don't know if it's that same world of, you know, mythology or whatever. I just think it's like a species, and you know, I just don't know if applying like biblical things to the subject like equates. It's like apples and oranges, kind of. I feel like it's like if you're gonna do that with Bigfoot, like why don't you do that with like bears or something? I don't know. Like I think just because of the obscurity of this topic, the mysteriousness, it kind of fans the flames of like you know, enigma, mystery that surrounds the subject. And just kind of solving one riddle with another is not the way to go. I guess harking back to, you know, Jeff Meldrum and Jane Goodall, who were both actually kind of religious people, and that's they were able to distinguish between the biological and theological. And I want to keep it. I want to keep it that way too. You know, there's a place for religion and there's a place for science. So, in my opinion. I think those falls make a lot of noise. Yeah, that's what. Unplug the sound on this video. That's why I think falls are such a good place to, like, or creeks, bodies of water, because they do hide so much sound. Yeah, but it is sad and tragic about losing those two cornerstones of anthropology and primatology. Actually, one of the speakers at the New York Bigfoot Conference was actually Dr. Jeff Meldrum was actually supposed to speak at the New York Big Conference. And obviously that didn't happen, but primatologist Esteban Sarmiento was there, so that was cool. He's like a really big favorite of mine over the years. He was on Monster Quest a lot. He was telling the story about how, like, Doug Highcheck was, like, constantly pestering him just for any of his opinions about the subject. I may have written something about, like, Gigantopithecus in, like, the early 90s, and I think that, like, caught wind of Doug Highcheck, and he was just added to his curiosity. Trees are starting to lose something. Approaching the trailhead, 600 feet or so. Really remote out here. See anybody other than that couple. God. Yeah, I think I was slightly freaked out by Line Kill State Park just because there weren't even any rangers in it. Like it was crazy. It was bizarre. I guess they also have like a pool or a lake there, and yeah, they had this like gigantic bathroom that was still open. But I was like the only one in it. It was like bizarre. I guess during the summertime it's like packed full. It just shows you like the changing in the seasons can really, you know, dictate like how busy things are going to be. And I always think about like the transiting of these animals. So yeah, I always say that this time of year is like there's a great deal of sightings. Maybe they're just moving to lower elevations, but I don't know, with this weather the way it is, they're probably still pretty north. I don't know. What dictates really what makes them move, if they move at all. Cliff Darkman had a presentation, and it was about, you know, at least the Bigfoot in his area, like, may only have like a 5-mile radius or something. So, maybe because the Pacific Northwest is more like, you know, stable environment through the year, they don't feel pressure to like leave or go further south, whereas, you know, on the East Coast here, it's like it gets very cold in areas like this during the winter. Almost at the trailhead. Be special, extra careful with my ankle. I'm sure there's been people lost, you know, 100 feet off the trail. Look at that rock. Rolling stone gathers no moss. Yeah, I would hate to be walking this later when it starts getting really wet. These leaves will be like a slick. All right. I swear I thought I heard a turkey in the distance. creek. The trail. And looks like we made it. Wilcox Lake Wild Forest. Looks like we traversed all the way to about here. That's funny. It's like it's almost where like four counties meet. All right, everybody. Subscribe and like if you could. Really helps the channel. Take care.